Okay, let go.
I am Robert Johnson, and I am interviewing Riley.
Hey Robert, how's it going?
Fine. Mhm.
Good, good.
So I'm here to talk to you about cosplay. See, the thing about cosplay is that it's always piqued my interest. I have been
Okay.
so interested and intrigued by it. But, alas, how could I get into it?
How?
Could you answer that question for me?
Hmm. Well, you. Okay. Let's see. Let's answer this question with how I started. Um.
Ooh la la.
Lord Robert. Okay. So I started watching anime and manga, which is primarily like cosplayers, other than like comic books, your classic Star Trekkies and whatnot. I started watching anime and reading manga when I was in sixth grade. Now I'm a junior, as you know. Um, and I had seen cosplay and pictures of these people in crazy, awesome costumes of the characters I loved. And I was like, what is this called? And then I learned it's called cosplay, which is a combination of the word costume and play.
Oh my god, I did not know that. That makes sense. Sorry for interrupting, but
No, it's fine.
that has literally, oh, mind blown.
Okay. Um, yeah, and I do a lot of cosplay, which is like I do like the opposite gender of the character's original person. It's also known as gender bent. Gender bent. Um, and I also do male characters, but that's fine. In the cosplay community, people don't care if you're a boy just as a boy, or a girl just as a boy, or a girl just as a girl, and you know, etc., etc. Um, but okay, that's away from the question. How I started. I started by, I mean, I had seen all this stuff on the internet, and I finally convinced my aunt to buy me a wig online, um, because I wanted to start really badly because I've been thinking about it for 2 years, and I'm I'm pretty artsy, so I figured that it would appeal to me in some kind of way. So I started with something which I thought was simple, and I just didn't know how to cut wigs or anything. But it wasn't too terrible. But I started uh, just after many years of wanting to do it, basically.
Why do you
I cosplay. I keep cosplaying because I love the community. The community. The community is so accepting. It's helped me find a passion. The community is so accepting. We love everyone. There's not much like negativity. A lot of like positivity about who you are, as far as sexuality, gender, body image. You know, all that crazy stuff that people get criticized about now. Um, but I feel like I know myself so much more because I've cosplayed, and it's helped me make connections with people that live all over the country, even a few friends in Canada, um, from this, and it's just I love it because I have so many friends, and I just simply love making costumes. It's extremely fun to me. So,
How has cosplay changed your
well, like I said just now, was it helped me discover myself. I definitely was in a different place 2 years ago, which is when I just started cosplaying. I've been cosplaying for almost 2 years now.
life?
But I feel like I know my identity because I'm able to express certain things that I can't usually express of myself through these costumes. I know in class we had that fast right one time about how people say what they really are thinking when they're behind a mask. Cosplay is my mask. I get to act more confident, braver. I get to talk to people more easily. And I know I've talked to so many other people, and they love cosplay and the cosplay community because it is so accepting. They've been able to like discover themselves and get over anxiety, at least in these certain situations, and just, it's very theatrical, because when you put on that costume, you become that character in an essence. Like, it doesn't matter if, it's just a costume, it's just, it's such an undescribable feeling that it's almost like a transformation. It's great. I love it. Because I definitely wouldn't be as confident to go talk to all these crazy people that I know now because of cosplay. Cosplay has led me to make my own business online, which is commissioning costume pieces that people request me to do, like hood pieces or like cowls and capes. I've done some like shirt top pieces, a few props for people. It's just great.
Can you tell me about your first time cosplaying?
Okay, that was an interesting experience. It was at New Orleans Comic Con 2014. I distinctly remember it. My mom thought it was a good idea just to drop me off alone. Um, I don't know. I don't know why she did that, because last year she came with me and she was like, I don't know why I did that, because I don't know, I feel like a 15-year-old shouldn't be here alone. I mean, it's not like cons are bad, but it's like a big place where people can, like, get lost and whatnot. But my first time cosplaying, I was in a cosplay, my hair was just braided and stuffed under this wig that wasn't even cut, because I didn't know how to cut or style wigs. Now I do, and it's helped me so much, and I improve so much just every time I do one little thing. Uh, but I remember I had this hideous brown wig, which I thought looked decent at the time, and a tomato pin to my head, because that's what the cosplay called for. I remember I was the only person that I could find from the show I was cosplaying from, and I remember this moment I was mistaken for another character from that show, and I got really mad at that poor girl. I felt so bad, but I was really just scared because I didn't know anyone there. But eventually there was this other girl there who was also cosplaying, who was actually cosplaying the brother of my character. So she and I were able to hang out, and that was truly my first experience with being accepted into the cosplay community and having someone just be completely open to a stranger who was, this was obviously their first time at a con, obviously their first time cosplaying, but it just, like, just the openness and willingness to help me improve and all, it made me want to stay and keep going and continue at this. At the time, I had been already making some other cosplays. I had made one of my favorite props that I have to this day, which is a giant Warhammer. It's called the Warhammer Zillihu. It's from Homestuck. It's like 3 feet long and like a foot and a half tall, a foot and a half wide, and then it's on it's on a stick. I think it's a Mardi Gras spear, spear. If I'm remembering correctly, but I love it because it's this giant rainbow hammer that not many people, even in the cosplay community, are able to make. So,
Not many people in my cosplaying community can make it.
I mean,
Is it that it's very difficult to make one that's good, or?
Yes and no. I mean, mine was literally just made out of cardboard and paper mache, but some people lack the artistic skill, but they try really hard to improve and all, and kudos to them, but I know it can sometimes be discouraging seeing people like me, who's been doing it for 6 months or less, make a giant hammer that they can't make after 5 years. But often those people, they of course have other friends in the cosplay community, so they usually help them, or they're able to get commissions from people online, or again friends, or they can just buy their cosplays if they're unable to make it, but it's just more simple ones like Homestead cosplays are really easy because they're usually like jeans, a shirt with a certain logo, and then a wig, maybe a prop. So those are super easy. I remember Dave Strider was one of my first cosplays, and it was just like I said, a red pair of jeans, red shirt with his logo, a cape, and some red contacts and a wig. The red contacts were the most expensive thing of that cosplay. They were $30. But that's not too bad considering that they're colored contacts. Anyways, I love that cosplay, and I didn't think I would, so I bought like the cheapest wig I could find when I was first doing that. And since then, I've bought another wig for that cosplay. I've made a new cape. I've made new props. I have another pair of red contacts. I have 3 pairs of mirror shades for this cosplay, and I've developed what are called headcanons, and it's like what people feel like the character would do outside of the show. Like the show doesn't necessarily say that, or the character doesn't necessarily do it in the show or whatever. And one of my favorite headcanons for this character is he would wear heelys. So when I go to cons, I have this big red cape and I'm rolling around on these heelys, and people love it. And I like that strikes up conversations, and that's how I've made my connections. I might be in a panel because of the stupid stuff I do at cons, but they like it and it shows character. And I mean, I just got into the character. I feel like he would own a pair of Heelys and would run around rapping or like doing stuff ironically. So.
Based off of what I've heard, I hear that what you said, that I see that cosplaying involves a lot of art and creativity. Do you believe that we should incorporate this into school, like having cosplay as one of the art forms?
I would love that, but it's honestly it would be much simpler just to go into like the theater and go with their costuming design, which I've considered, but been too busy to do because of volleyball. But like theater design, I've considered and helped out with a few just sketches for costumes. And like I think they should offer sewing and basic costuming as maybe even just a lesson in modern arts, because there's so many people who don't know how to like sew with thread needle, like much less use a sewing machine. Yes and no, because home ec is you've got all that other stuff.
Yeah.
But not even like a whole course just on this. Just like the basics in the beginning, like just a little bit of time in art taken away to make this stuff. Because I know I've considered cinema makeup because of cosplay, and I love it because of the special effects and the prop making and all this cool makeup stuff you can do. But I don't have training, so I've kind of resorted to more realistic things like engineering.
These more realistic things.
Hey, engineering totally is involved in cosplay. I've made a dragon costume with a 7-foot wingspan. Those wings opened and closed.
Whoa.
True engineering right there. Just a pulley system. But it was definitely fun to do that and design. You definitely have to like sit down and be like, how am I gonna get this to work? Because in shows, they're fantasy creatures. They're fictional characters with props and features that aren't realistic and just defy regular norms. So you just need to figure out how to do these things. Then, like I use fishing coin all the time because it's almost invisible and cameras don't catch up on it.
Hey, do you say it's twine time all the time?
Oh my god! On that note, we should probably leave this interview.
How much time does it take to like make a simple costume? Well, not really simple. Just how much time does it take out of your life to cosplay?
Of course it depends on the costume.
Yeah.
For something like simple, like say something just with a cape and maybe a shirt with a logo on it, all you have to do is like either iron that logo on or paint it on, which takes an hour tops. Um, and then make the cape from fabric, which, or not even do that, just play or buy one. That would take maybe 2 hours if you're working with heavy fabric. So 3 hours tops. That's not a long time at all. I remember let's go back to the dragon costume. Let's see. That one took me maybe 150 hours, but I did it over the summer, so I had plenty of time. It's during school I don't do it much because I need to focus on my studies, but I do it over holidays. So I spend like, I don't know, all I know is I'm up at 2 a.m. and my brother hears the hum of the sewing machine and he's always like, go to sleep!
What are other factors of costume, like such as money or the expensive?
Well, it depends on like, there's a lot of factors that go into it. As with money, it depends on, do you have the money to buy your costume online, and if the quality is going to be good? Do you have the time to make it if you're going to make it, and do you have the money to buy the materials that you need to make it? And do you have time before the con to make it? Because I know cosplayers are infamous for being procrastinators and like staying up the night before a con to finish the costume because they didn't finish it 3 months in advance. Like, it's December now, and I already have a cosplay in work for July because I know I'm gonna, like, I won't be able to work on it that often. Yeah, that's what I've got to. I'm a cheap cosplayer. I'm able to like take things from, say, Goodwill, like bed sheets. I started off with bed sheets instead of real fabric to make a lot of things like the cloaks and the towels. I just made this cheap fabric. I was able to get a ton for cheaper than they sell at Joann's. Fabric is so expensive now because not many people go out and buy fabric anymore.
Where do you see cosplaying in your future?
I will definitely be doing it in my future. I will be doing it in college, probably afterwards. I'm going to try to keep up my business online because I love it so much. And I love creating things for people and knowing that they're happy. I've shipped things all across the world. I've had one thing be sent to Germany and one thing sent to Canada. The rest have been mostly in the US. But I will be cosplaying in 10 years from now. One of those kind of deals. Alright. This has been a good conversation, Robert, I think. You're welcome. I hope I've helped you with that curiosity that you had about cosplay. All this cosplay stuff.
I ain't got the money for it. I hear how you talk about it.
Mm. Oh,
Too
come
expensive,
on.
man.
Come on. No. It's not that bad.
Sorry.
No. It's not that bad, I promise. As long as you know how to budget.
Yeah.
Budgeting is key. And always try to budget more than you think it'll cost. Because something might go wrong. You might have to buy extra fabric or extra paint or another wig because one catches on fire.
Whoa, is that a norm?
Yeah, it's like wigs tend to spontaneously combust. I hope you know.
Cosplay is dangerous.
No. It's just dangerous if you have like a long wig on and you're cooking. Yeah. Alright.
So, thank you, Riley. I will look into cosplay in the future. You have quenched my thirst for it.
What even, Robert?